All right, YouTube, real quick video here. And instead of getting into the minutia or the details or the lack of details, but full-blown landslides of evidence that are being completely ignored, contorted timelines given to the daytime television crowd in the form of talk show hosts interviewing non-heroes and their handlers. We simply don't have answers to questions that are, what was the motivation for a 64-year-old multimillionaire to do something so horrific on the Las Vegas Strip? And unfortunately, there's going to be more and more evidence to show that the official timeline is false. It's fortunate for truth. It's unfortunate for the mainstream media and the sources that push those lies. But for the most part, everyone unilaterally agrees that we don't actually have motive here. What would motivate someone to do something horrific like that? So we will delve into that as time goes by over time. In the meantime, I want to talk about what will occur as a result of what happened in Las Vegas, Nevada on October 1st. Now, in 2006, the Bush administration, mass murdering war criminal, decided to go ahead and make internet gambling illegal in the United States. And what they did is they very stealthily snuck it into the Safe Ports Act, which was basically a national security act. Remember, no border wall, safe ports, right? And it's also important. And they decided to go ahead and sneak it's known as the UIGEA, the Unlawful Internet Gambling Enforcement Act. And they decided to go ahead and package that up and bundle it into the Security and Accountability for Every Port Act of 2006. So it passed, it became law, and for all intents and purposes, the burgeoning market on the internet gambling was exploding. And of course, being the freest country in the world, you are more than free to waste all of your money playing, video games basically for cash on the internet. So they decided to go ahead in all of their wisdom, because if anyone is the basis morality for the country at large and knows what's best for us as individuals, it's got to be George W. Bush. So internet gambling became illegal as a result of the Security and Accountability for Every Port Act of 2006. Now, I remember this very specifically because there is an investment opportunity known as sports arbitrage. And basically, you take advantage of the different odds between different bookkeepers. You bet on both sides, and then you siphon off a little off the top. And right when I found out about this opportunity, it's probably cost me millions of dollars. There's no way to know. 3 months later, this became law. I was no longer able to benefit from that. So I remember when this happened. Now, from a moral perspective, I don't think, as a libertarian, I don't believe that we should be being told what we should or should not be doing with our paychecks. So in other words, I'm not against people being able to gamble on the internet. This is Big Brother mentality. They know what's best for us. The freest country in the world, not so free. So I know firsthand how this has affected my life in a negative way, because there are legitimate ways to actually benefit from this economy. And it is its own economy, obviously. Otherwise, Las Vegas wouldn't exist, right? Not in the, sports betting came later, but. So point being is I am predicting that as a result, and Las Vegas is already seeing a dip in tourist traffic, totally understandable. I wanted to go there recently. Maybe I don't want to go there now, because October is off season, and look what just happened. You want to go in the fall when it's nice and cool. And, you have the events of October 1st. So you're already seeing a dip in tourism, and that means a dip in gambling. So when I'm looking at this situation, and we clearly don't have motive, MGM has basically, it's been acknowledged through sources, take it or leave it, that MGM basically chose Jesus Campos to be on Ellen Degeneres for a corporate level damage control type of situation. In other words, he had to go with that official timeline in a very controlled environment, no pointed questions, because that would derivate and open up MGM, and they will have many anyway, to billions and billions of dollars in liability lawsuits, right? Because they simply were not able to control, what's going on inside of their property. So they roll him out there. So it's already been acknowledged that MGM was basically behind the orchestration, and this makes perfect sense, of that interview to cover and paper over what actually happened. Like I said, we can talk about that all week. What I'm saying is that this is a perfect opportunity for those same casino conglomerates to go ahead and promote legalizing internet gambling in the United States. Now, as I've said before, I have absolutely no moral qualms with internet gambling. Yes, it ruins people's lives. I understand that. Unfortunately, people have the right to ruin their lives. So taking that away from them is not freedom. It's the antithesis of that. I've been robbed of massive opportunity myself, an investment opportunity, which is totally different, as a result of internet gambling being illegal in the United States on the internet, obviously. Except, there's some, fucking Rhode Island, there's some states, some outliers where you can do video poker. Don't want to get into that. So with all the people wondering, scrambling, looking for motivation, why did this happen? How could this be allowed to happen? And all the different eyewitness testimonies. There are motives, and then there are questions. A solution to Vegas's plight, because why would they shoot themselves in the foot? Literally. Bad choice of words, maybe. Why would they do that to themselves and cut down on their own revenue stream? Obviously, the answer is internet gambling. As long as those conglomerates are profiting and benefiting, and the base of those profits, of course they would want to do something like that. So they'll take a temporary hit to promote internet gambling being legal in the United States. And in that's motive. That's motive to cover it up. Massive opportunity. This is before smartphones when this act passed. You have to remember that. And people are junkies now. They are digital junkies. If you're watching this, you're probably one too. Different levels. So I am predicting that within the next year, there will be a major push to make internet gambling legal in the United States as a result of the Las Vegas massacre of October 1st, 2017. So we'll see what happens. In all honesty, it shouldn't have been illegal to begin with. And a mass murdering war criminal like George W. Bush has absolutely no right to stand on some moral high ground and tell us what we should or should not be doing with our money. So let's go ahead and see how this whole thing plays out. Las Vegas will still be there. The casinos will still be there. But you have to remember, Las Vegas only exists because of disposable income. And the fact that they get what is it, like 65% of their traffic from Southern California, right? The actual people that go into the city, that travel there. So when that's cut off, there's got to be another way to make money, right? As long as they're in charge of it, obviously there's an incentive to go ahead and get behind that type of legislation. So we'll see what happens, and obviously more information will come out about the shooting itself and the patsy Stephen Pollock. They're already trying to kind of bury it, and it only just leads to more and more questions. So anyway, we'll see how this whole thing pans out.